And oh, sounds fine. But if you're going to be talking, just turn the volume down there so that people can hear you.
For the assessing the game, you can do it with partner.
Oh no.
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 Oh, because you said Cole.
Oh, there were going to be two separate presentations.
Oh.
Cole was going to do one, and Parker was also going to do one.
Oh, okay.
But it works out a little bit better this way. All right, so you're ready? Oh. Yeah, you'll have to plug that in on the other side, I think. That's where your headphone jack is. All right.
All right. So for my retail game, For my retail game, I did Aliens, Colonial Marines. Now, overall, I do believe Gearbox really botched this, and they killed really amazing franchise. However, I still feel that there are a few moments in here that really stand out, and we'll be going over one of those. For my presentation, it's mainly about incorporating two different genres into the same game. And with this one, it has the action shooter, and with the level we'll be going over, it will be implementing the horror aspect, which with an Alien franchise is really the sole thing of it. And also we'll need a volunteer to go through the gameplay. Mark?
Oh.
Alright.
So, do I go up there now, or are you going to do
You
one?
can go up right now. I'm just going to go over a few.
Alright.
Oh, God.
Alright. So a few games that have successfully incorporated a first-person shooter with a horror aspect have been, well, there's two off the top of my head were Halo, the first Halo, when you first meet the Flood. For the first half of the game, you're fighting the Covenant, these big bad aliens with their empire on hard or extreme difficulty. They're nearly impossible to kill. When you get to the Flood, you see them starting to really be scared and actually running away. You see them curled up in corners, freaking out, and you see these little creatures scurrying all over the place. And when I first started playing it, I actually just wanted to get the hell out of there as fast as possible because a swarm of Flood rushing through a hallway scared the shit out of me. Another one that incorporated this was BioShock in the very beginning. When you first get down to Rapture and you see splicers climbing on walls, and then again in the hospital area. I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't know the name of it, but the hospital area where you start seeing the crazy doctor and his experiments, that made me just really want to kill him as fast as possible as well. Now, with Aliens, nearly all of their games have been just first-person shooters, because, everyone wants to shoot an alien, but, with the first movie, they weren't trained soldiers in the first movie. They were just a crew of people fighting against an alien, and there was that real horror aspect in there, this sense of vulnerability, and that's you're up against something that's really way stronger than you are, and you just had to try and survive that. And they took this, and they made it into a single level into the game here, and we'll be going over that. Mark will be playing through a regular standard shooter,
Awesome.
and I'll be stopping him here and there to point out certain aspects of it. So
So just start.
a little
Okay. Cool.
Put him on nightmare.
The fate of this presentation is in my hands.
Don't suck it up.
I think your resolution might be widescreen. Because I think they're getting some flickering and stuff.
where. That's also a little bit with the graphics and other things that kind of
Oh, okay, yeah. I see.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
game
you gotta find
itself has been lots of bugs with it, but after you get over it, it's fine. So these are actually going to be played in the lowest graphics to make it more fluid. So up until this point in the game, you've been with the squad of Marines fighting the aliens tooth and nail to try and find out what happens on the planet and why it exploded. And the prelude before this level is you were separated. Yeah, wow. It's really dark.
Yeah.
Alright. Right here you notice you're sort of trapped. You're hovering above the ground. There's something.
Oh.
It's like a pirate.
Alien, right off the bat. You all know this position where it's plastered to a wall.
Get out of there, Mark.
He's trying.
Well,
Don't let the egg thing hit you. The hand.
I don't know why they didn't just eat it all.
Yeah, the little baby.
All right, now right off the bat, what can you notice right about the
Does
player?
anyone read? This is
Is he
Winter.
carrying a
I'm in
gun?
trouble and I don't know where I am.
Like barehanded to me.
Yeah. He has no weapons right now, and for the entire game he's been armed with an arsenal. So this is first chance he's not had a gun going up against the alien horde.
It's gross.
Go around, explore the level. It has the basic themes of horror map, dark, well lit, kind of the industrial feel, very alien-y. And the main boss you've just seen was the alien that captured you. You just scurried off because he heard your friend coming to save you. Yep, now you're trying to get away before he gets you. Turn around.
What the fuck?
Yeah. As you see, the alien is trying to hunt you down.
Don't let him do it.
What the fuck? Okay. What?
And you die.
Okay. Well, I didn't even.
So, it's alright. Again,
Well,
another
that
bit
was
of the horror
a death.
aspect here. You're being hunted. That's the real emphasis here. Like, you were the hunter, and now you've become the hunted.
What do you think the reason is for that? Like, why did the designers choose now to do that?
With this game, I can't really say for sure, but I believe they wanted to get back to what really started off the franchise. This like strange alien with no reasoning, it's not just hunting people down at level I want. And
Go berserker,
people
Mark.
reacted to that.
Oh, just run in there.
Dude, okay.
More crouch.
Mark, you get scared
Dude,
there.
I don't. So they just have to avoid these like three.
Yeah, just keep going. Like again, more
You see the
industrial
light, don't
feel.
go there.
It's always been quite scary, like an Amnesia or second game.
What is it about the industrial feel that makes it scary?
I think that kind of just how it's portrayed as the sort of state of decay and how it's separated.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Bitch. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh god, shift, crouch.
around.
Now look behind you.
Well,
That looks fun. That looks safe. Wait, no, this is the same room.
That's a big
Yeah, another one of the incorporating aspects. Well, granted, it's only scary the first time you see the guy with an alien pop out of his chest, because afterwards, everyone knows it's going to happen as soon as you see someone plastered to a wall. So that's more of a scare for anyone who hasn't played the Alien franchise.
I was totally plastered to a wall. That have something inside me.
Don't ruin the storyline, Mark.
Maybe not probably.
Oh.
Okay, now you're continuing with your escape from the alien as best as you can, trying to get back to the safety of your squad mates. Trapped in a dank, dark sewer. And here we have another interesting aspect.
There's all these husks in the sewer. What kind of bugs are these? There's some still alive down there.
Oh, that's fun.
Winter. Near as I can tell, they're attracted to salmon. If one gets close, stand perfectly still until it goes away.
Now, if you can point right here. You see all these, well, you can't really see it.
Is there a-
Spot.
is there like a gamma setting, an option that you could just like send a max, make it easier to send a projector? Brightness? That is not. Yeah, do that all the way.
All the way, yes. I can't even see the insignia.
No. Yeah, it's bright on the screen, but
Yeah, like many of the other features Aliens has, a few flaws that they've supposedly fixed in updates, but I haven't seen any of them yet, so sorry for that quality.
oh, that's fun. I still help.
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit. You can see right here, as I just mentioned, all these husks are scattered around, but some of them are still alive. you won't know until it's too late and you have only a few seconds to react to it. So that keeps the player on their toes, keeps them guessing, is that alive, is that alive, is that alive, that's not alive, is
Yo,
that alive?
that one right there in center screen is totally live.
Yeah, now go forward. They're activated by unlike they're activated by sound, so it forces the player also to take it slow at risk of being attacked.
How do you know how much noise you're making?
Don't be a pussy. Come on.
So the amount of noise is usually triggered
I'm
by
going.
you start sprinting or running, and then the aliens let out a small hissing
That one's
sound.
definitely alive.
So you get a warning.
Oh god, the
You'll
mark's
see
too
also
good.
mannequin like poses they're in.
This is kind of neat. That's pretty sweet. Oh,
Oh, there it is.
Start walking away.
low. Low.
Are there any other ones alive in this room? Are they just freaking?
I don't trust that one on the left.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. I don't trust, like, just walking here right now.
There's so
And
many.
this is really back in Arc 2, the first Alien movie, where it was more damp. There was a lot more water effects, the kind of sewage and decay look.
Oh, right there.
Keep fucking bull, man.
I like his T-Rex arms. Okay, book it.
Okay.
Oh,
So that,
I would crouch.
After you. Move.
Hi. Oh my god.
guys.
It's scary and a little bit like aliens will really respond to you, but it's fair enough that if you stop still, they won't still attack you. So there's not like an overbalance of horror or experiment.
so it really forces you to be slow and subscribe to that fear.
Oh. No.
Oh my god. Oh.
Really?
Oh my
So,
god.
and this is on the easiest difficulty. I might mention if it was on hard, you'd have to basically get on your hands and knees and crawl through this entire level.
How are you supposed to get around this guy? He's not going anywhere.
Oh, no.
I think that's the.
Run, Mark, run.
This is a new alien that the franchise they created just for this game. I won't tell you what it does if it notices you completely. That'll be just a little surprise. once you get to it.
Hello.
So do they have a lot of levels like this that kind of force you to be slow and careful?
This is the only one, sadly.
Oh,
For the rest of the game, you switch back to first-person shooter genre,
okay.
which is kind of a little bit of that down, but they really went on a little thing here. You might want to activate that switch.
Yeah.
Do you find,
By the way.
at least from like responses on message boards or whatever, that people complain about this now, or do they like it?
This is one of the few levels that they really respect. I'll just watch that for a second.
This, what is it? That.
Oh.
Oh.
Turn on the generator and they attacked it.
Tell me those guys exploded. They exploded. Yeah, it's not good. They were like, oh, what's that noise? And then they fucking exploded. Coming to you.
Right here in some of the battery, you also get the more realistic view of how you react. It's close to, oh, they exploded. So we have actual commentary of when we react to it.
They should all be dead now because of the noise, right?
No. This one?
Anyone can tell me what that's from? Anyone? It's a prop.
It's
In the movies.
a ball.
It's the head doll from Aliens. Million Sue Little Girl. Have none of you seen the movies? What do you want?
From
I've only seen the first one.
It's been like 10 years.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm leaving it too.
I'm not seeing aliens.
It's alright, I saw Prometheus.
Yeah, I own the Matrix.
Is that Million Zero?
You can complain about people not getting the reference if it was not more recent. It's old enough.
It's
What?
aliens. It's
What?
iconic.
It's behind you.
Behind me.
Yeah, that's Jack and Daxter.
Where? Oh, that? Oh. Oh, I see. Yo, do I have a flashlight?
I really want to turn a flashlight on right now.
All the
Yeah,
flashlights
even
are
on
also
the-
on the guns as well, so you don't have the safety of a flashlight.
I can't see, coach. Oh.
Oh, he's right there, man. He's right there.
Hey, yo.
What's he doing?
He's taking a nap, walking around his tire.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Get the hell out of there!
What? No!
They attacked the generator again.
Oh,
Now you can safely leave the level.
Would that be? They just follow like.
yeah.
Things will go. Have fun.
I'm waiting for it to eat.
Fusty welder.
Why don't you just use it on that?
Yeah.
You want to
They
weld something that
explode.
explodes and shoots acid. Yes.
That's why you don't use that one.
Oh shit, man, you gotta get over there. Run.
Nice small little puzzle aspect of it as well.
Run for it, Mark.
Run, Forrest, run.
See you listen. Jump.
Better get them down now.
Can you use that on the aliens?
That's what they were saying. Aliens
Because
that
they
explode
explode.
and have acid for blood are probably not good things to well.
Yeah, but I mean, still get it right in the tongue or something.
Yeah.
Get rid of their jaws. Their jaws, they can-
Oh, deal.
Alright, now you notice that you're not completely alone in here, that there's the
Couldn't
gold
he
coming
given you
back
like a
to
pistol
safety.
or something?
Yeah, seriously.
No, he
He's
still
like, hey,
doesn't
I'm doing
offer you
it.
any weapons.
Okay, how are you?
Well, you couldn't get into
Where's
anyway,
that
right?
one?
The bar that you said? Where the bar seat in just has to come through anyway?
Ah, it's just basically a dick.
Oh.
I could give you a gun, but I won't. Not like much of the rest of the level we have more aliens. More
Oh
monsters.
man.
Maybe twitching.
Yeah, I see them wiggling.
Yep. Talking to them.
But hey, how you doing?
Do I have to? No, I can't go up there after this. Oh.
Oh, there's
They come
two
up
of them.
and then it sticks. So that's always a nice little gift surprise.
Walk backwards.
Working everywhere.
Aha.
Down by the heart.
I can't. I wanted it so bad.
These aliens are very smart.
The bug from before is now located your friend.
GG. Can I cut?
Returning you back to your main enemy boss. This one's gonna be tricky.
Do we get to see a queen?
Might go through the door, turn around. Door shut.
I hope so. Doors. Oh God!
What?
I think we Yep, you did.
The death spot. First one, it's more of the horror chase, where the welder really comes in handy. You open a door, you can then seal it behind you, buys some time.
Were you supposed to open that door?
You cut
Yeah.
open the door, you go in, you shut the door,
I guess I should have listened to his advice and said just go straight for the door. I guess I should have just.
Seal every door.
tries to small on top, get the up door.
Oh, Marco. Life depends on this road.
You.
So, I'm not saying but it's sort of keep going.
You doesn't have.
Seal everything. The aliens could use beds now.
In the elevator room. Let's go, man.
Do it.
And back to safety.
Back.
With lo and behold,
Grab my duffel bag.
and that is the sunk conclusion of the horror aspect of aliens. Well, they killed the guy that gave you a gun.
Take his gun.
Oh God, that sound acid.
You're waiting for so long.
Alright, you can stop
No. Okay.
Alright, and that was the only horror portion of the game. After this, it switches back to first-person shooting. Well, there are small scares, as like with any alien franchise that's a given that you see scattered around the entire game. This is the only portion of a level that is actually dedicated to the alien horror genre entirely. So, any questions? Yeah.
When you got this game, were you expecting it to be more like that level?
I was expecting portions of it, maybe half and half or half first-person shooter, because from the high-end trailers that they first started showing, they showed you that you were part of the squad, but the aliens were actually, instead of like attacking all at once, they were attacking one person at once and picking them off one by one. So I was expecting maybe like a last desperate horror stand.
Okay.
Do you at least get to use the giant robot suits?
You do, but it's not as epic as it sounds.
Oh.
It's more just, yeah.
Well, why do you think they didn't put in more horror to it?
Well, it's because a first-person shooter has a larger community based around it than a horror game. And so I think with this, they really just wanted to milk the franchise as much as humanly possible.
Do you think it was a publisher decision, or was it actually designed?
With the production of this game, it's really hard to say because although Gearbox and Sega were at the top of it, they really outsourced everything, all the content to several different companies. The multiplayer was made by one company, the campaign was made by one company, the assets were made by another company. So I can't really say for certain if there was any actual coherency with any of them. Because like in the opening, it takes 5 minutes roughly to get through all the, like when you start a game, the logo of a company opens. It takes like a minute to 5 minutes to get through all the logos
Yeah.
of companies.
What would you say are the you showed it, you said your light and footage kind of speak for itself, but as a summary, what would you say the steps they incorporated to add horror to this level were?
They steered away from Aliens for this portion of the level. With Aliens, it switched the Alien franchise over to like an action type series instead of like where it originally started, where it was mainly horror. First one, you have like a crew of 6 people find an alien and have them all picked off one by one. Aliens, you have the squad mains, and there's a whole bunch of aliens, and they're attacking each other. So they went back to the first movie and took a lot of pointers and tips on like how they made the first Alien scary.
Okay. So specifically, as far as the gameplay, what did they do?
Stripping the weapons was
That is
the
the big
first
one.
way. It leaves the player vulnerable, Like in the first half of this game, they felt like a badass. They were taking out aliens like it was nothing. And then these aliens that they were not afraid of suddenly had the upper hand because they no longer have weapons to defend themselves. And you could only run or weld doors shut for basically this entire first portion of the level. Another option was with the level design layout, kind of the aesthetic appeal that looking at the first aliens is like a near comparison of it. The dark, dank areas, tight corridors, a lot of the alien creep on the walls that let you know that this is their territory. And also with like the opening sequence when you're plastered to the wall, because that's always been a sign that you've been defeated in some way. And then you have to worry, am I impregnated with an alien? Am I going to suddenly die?
Anything else?
I
They
was,
did a few other things, didn't they?
incorporating the new enemies also, I would say, was the key. This level is really tailored around them. Forces you to take it slow, watch your step, and really observe all of your surroundings because they're like with the husks. One of them could be standing still for 1 second and pop up next to you, because Mark found that the hard way sometimes. So it really keeps the player on edge for the majority of the experience.
Okay. Anything else?
In the end, I wish they had incorporated more levels with this kind of aspect because I believe Alien thinks it's a really good horror franchise with like the set gimmicks aside that it could have been really great if they hadn't butchered it.
Yeah. You also showed the puzzles as you pointed out for the generator. It's a small puzzle. It's not really one that makes you. It's not gonna like twist your brain, right? But
Yeah, it's not like a portal puzzle, but it's something that at least you have to stop even just for a second and look around the room and say, hey, I need to get from point A to B by jumping over C.
yeah, and the fact that you were exploring, or you have to get to see through an alien, that adds tension to that, right?
And you could have also not used the generators at all as an option, but it would be much more difficult because the generators kill all the aliens in that area, and when you start unwelding the door, that also makes it easier because when you unweld the door, that makes sound, which attracts them to the alien.
As far as the welding doors, like for that end run, which is sort of like a mini boss fight, even if it's more of a boss race than a boss fight. Do you think that works as well?
I think it works well, and it was really made possible by the other AI shouting, "Weld all the doors, just seal them all." Because otherwise, I don't think the player would. I didn't think of that when I first started playing. I thought get through the doors as fast as possible. And it wasn't until I actually looked at what the computer was telling me to do that I realized, oh, we should probably seal the door behind me.
Yeah, which implies that that VO was probably a band-aid, that they probably didn't have that in originally, and nobody was figuring that out.
With the majority of the game, the welders didn't really use that much to seal doors per se. So this was the only real instance where you get to use it more than just like half a second. And I think that the band-aid was needed because it wasn't used as much.
Okay.
And players wouldn't have gotten to that conclusion unless they had it.
My last question is there anything that we could do to generate more of a feeling of horror in this level or levels like this? If you were going to make another level, would you just do all the same things they did, or could there be new things?
There could be new things that would be more like that horror term for it is like some instances of horror. I'm not quite sure what it was, but
Like jump scares?
jump scares. That's what more jump scares. That's what the Alien franchise. That's what they're notorious for. So having aliens bursting out of vents and from underneath grates and just grabbing people at random, people who thought that like they have to be a main character. The storyline itself was very bland. It's kind of really like low ball. One of us basically could have made it. No offense to us, but we like big guys, big companies that should make it better. So killing off a few main characters would be a good start, because that adds a sense of anyone is no one's safe.
That's a good one.
Yeah, jump scares are really the biggest thing they could have done. could have used the sound a lot more and motion tracker. Because motion tracker is also notorious for fear and this uneasy sound. Like, you know, if they're getting closer and closer, but you don't know how they're going to get you. So, they're giving you a motion tracker in this level might have helped as well.
Oh, that would be a good idea. Okay. So as far as this presentation, using horror and through the gameplay and a level of Alien, is there anything else that you guys can think of or questions that you have related to?
How did you feel about like I saw when you went around the room, all the switches for generators, they were glowing, or the hatch in the beginning, it was glowing. How do you feel about the design aspect of not giving the player the choice and just kind of leading them the whole way? Just press this, you have to press this.
With,
It was kind of
with kind of the art assets and the style of the game. Like when Mark tried to access a panel on the wall, it was like a series of buttons, but it was just like a static mesh piece. The glowing is probably just to draw the player's attention, saying that this is an option, because with the art choice, many items you may think are interactable are just immovable items that, you know, just sit there and look nice. So many players, I assume, would have just glossed over the fact that there was a lever there, because they've seen so many buttons and handles and other objects that could have been used but haven't been used throughout the game.
So you think that was a better design choice than say like a hover effect? So if I hovered over it, like on my screen, it would light up.
Hover effect would have been nice. Wouldn't have been as intrusive as just like a giant glowing handle. But that also runs the risk of some players who just want to rush through the level and do it their way, and not knowing that there's a better way to do it, like an easier way.
Yeah,
that
I feel like.
What if that
was created.
Well, I feel like that would. What was I gonna say? That would make, if you were to try and make things, that would frustrate players too much. I'd agree with what they just went with. Just to have something a little bit like highlighted like that.
So that was your first time playing, right?
Yeah.
Did those consoles really stand out to you?
A couple times it did. What I think they could have done is make it, because what I think that they were doing was, what they were trying to do was to make it the same color as your user interface, so that it looks like you're all looking at things from a helmet.
Yeah.
But the problem is, since it was that like light blue, like opaque color, and it was hard to see in the environment at times. So it took a bit for me for a couple of triggers, but for the most part, I saw them.
Yeah, my thinking on that is that you're watching and kind of studying the game and thinking about it more thoughtfully, whereas Mark's sort of in that like caveman vigilance mode, right, where he's like survive. So I think it may be less likely that he would notice stuff like that, whereas to you it might feel more like too obvious. But
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get Parker's take on it.
yeah,
But
it's
is
a
it-
great
Design
question.
aspect, I want to know if it worked in the game or not.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good question.
Is the blinking only on easy? Maybe they could have done that for the harder levels,
Which blinking are you?
like to locate like the switches and everything. Like,
I think it's the same for just all levels
See
in
the-
general.
couldn't they have done that? Like, only done that on easy? So like the hardcore players, if they wanted to, they
Yeah.
can find it by themselves. And the hardcore players are going to play on the harder difficulties anyway, so
Yeah, and that would be an easy way to
to make it
distinguish the
accessible, for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been, they'd have to play test to see if that's the right option, but
Yeah.
it would be an easy one to do.
For this, they took large portions of like what's been tried and tested for first-person shooters and applied that kind of mechanics there. So like, regardless on any difficulty, like if you play Call of Duty campaign mission, there'll still be that guy saying, Ramirez, go over there and defend that position.
Yeah.
And we all know that's a little bit annoying, but it's meant to help anyone who has just decided to play for the first time on that difficulty, regardless. But yeah, they could have done some things to alter this little portion, but both options for them.
How did you feel about the sound in this level?
The sound of this level, I think, was good. Could have been a little better. Adding more steam effects, have more pipes that hiss steam, that kind of mimics the alien's hiss. Would have added to the fear factor a bit more, a bit more machinery, kind of give the industrial feel. And otherwise, yeah, I think they did really good with it.
I felt like it was a little broken up, and the scare effect wasn't there as much because you would only hear the actual alien come by like as soon as he was on you, instead of like a couple footsteps here and there, even though he wasn't near you, but just to give you the feel.
Yeah, like the tension was
possible.
right there.
Yeah, that like, hey, he might be around that corner, but he definitely isn't if you play the game. But he could be. 'Cause I hear something. I just don't know where it is.
Yeah.
With that, they gave more so the warning with just the motion. Because when they stand up, you can really notice them. They're about like 2 feet taller than you. And although they can be hidden in the dark, they still wobble instead of running really fast. So it gives you a chance to notice saying, hey, that shadow is wobbling. So the sound they could have gone with, but they instead went with the like line of sight motion instead.
Your camera went down.
What's that?
Your phone went down.
Oh, it just fell over. Okay. Well, I guess it's if it's 10:50, yeah.